has brought a lot of Spaniards into his side. There are a couple of Italians on the bench for Como this evening, but just 3 inside the team. The 22-year-old De Pauli, the 31-year-old Goldaniga, as well as Vigorito, the 23-year-old as well, but they don't tend to get too much game time, those 3 players. And the rest of the side is made up of plenty of other nationalities, which has yielded a little bit of frustration across Italian football. When you see sides in the national team not being able to qualify for the World Cup, they may still be given a chance, which I don't tend to agree with. If Iran are pulled out, I think if they leave, it should be given to an Asian country, not to a European side who have failed to qualify. But when you do see a side that's failed to qualify for the 3rd World Cup in a row, and you see a side like Como who aren't producing Italian players, it does give a little bit of frustration from those that not only support a side in Serie A but also want the national team to do well as well. Inter Milan looking for their 24th win of this campaign. Have a free kick just on the edge of their own penalty area. They'll just play it short and pass it around a little bit. Rather tentative inside these opening 20 minutes. Nothing to shout about at all between these 2 sides. The battle between Nico Paz and Barella in the middle, the Argentinian against Italy in the engine room. Both trying to just control the tempo of the game. Paz is electric going forward. Barella's experience and physicality can make the games key, can make this game a key chess match between those two. And one of the other interesting ones will certainly be Diego Carlos against Thuram as well. Without Lautaro, Thuram must carry the attacking load. And Diego Carlos is powerful and dominant at the back, pace and physicality, which could be decisive over this game. Diego Carlos reached the 2021 UEFA Champions League final with Villarreal, who was rebuilt brilliantly after a serious Achilles rupture at Aston Villa. The 31-year-old Brazilian, as he tries to send a long ball down the right-hand side, but linesman's flag goes up as it goes out on the full. Inter Milan, they know how to beat this Como side, but so far they're being held rather comfortably by the host. 21 minutes into this game, they've won 10 in a row in the league against Como, and it's their longest streak against any single opponent in Serie A history, scoring 24 goals, with Como scoring just 2 on aggregate in that time. And they failed to score against Inter Milan in the 2 games that they have played this season. The 0-0 draw back in the Coppa Italia, and the 4-0 Inter Milan win in the reverse fixture. But 5 of Como's 6 all-time Serie A wins over Inter Milan have come here at the Sinigaglia. So if they can do it, they can do it at home. But it's a long ball that just plays in towards DeMarco, but his first touch is a little bit too heavy, and it allows Van der Bremt just to get back. It was Van der Bremt's initial header. He got too much underneath the ball, came off the top of his head straight into the path of DeMarco, whose first touch just came off him a little bit too strong, too far in front of him, and allowed Van der Bremt to get himself back and recover really well. Sends a long ball down in towards Diao, but can't quite turn his man, but will win the throw-in for the home side, who have shown they can do it with 10 men as well. Back a month ago now at home against Roma, they won 2-1. They've won 3 of their last 4 home games have Como. The 5-0 win against Pisa, the 2-1 win against Roma. We've mentioned the 0-0 against Milan in the Coppa Italia, but in Serie A they then beat Lecce 3-1, whose defeat to Bologna has kept them inside the relegation zone. The bottom 2 all but down now, Pisa and Hellas Verona. A couple of weeks ago it looked like they may have tried to provide a little bit of a fight, but 4 defeats in a row for Verona, 3 for Pisa, have put them in a precarious position, and for Lecce, well, 4 defeats in a row for them as well, have put them inside the bottom 3. Cremonese have 4 losses in the last 5. It's difficult when you're relying on an ageing Jamie Vardy. 4 goals, he still has plenty of talent, but maybe not enough to carry you late on into a season. The former Premier League winner of Leicester City, who, if you follow English football, he won the Premier League back in 2016, and 10 years later they're on the verge of being relegated to the 3rd division of English football. 5 years ago, in fact, they'd won the FA Cup, and then 4 years ago in 2022 they won the Community Shield, the equivalent of the Super Cup, and now on the verge of 3rd tier English football. Fiorentina, well, they've had an excellent season in Serie A after a very, very, very difficult start, and they're just starting to produce enough results that have got themselves away from that bottom 3. It's over on this right-hand side, driving into the box well is Diao, tries to go for a strike, blocked in the area, and it goes over to the left-hand side, tackle goes in, and then the free kick goes against Valle, who goes into the referee's book as well. He just came in rather strong late on, and the referee quick to get the card out of the pocket, but it was a dazzling run from Diao from the right-hand side. Did ever so well to just skip past one, cut inside his first man, drove to try and open up the gap, open it up on his left-hand side, went for goal, just came off the defender. It looked like a Sebi who got the block in, and as it went across towards the far side, it was a strong challenge that came in from Valle, who went for the spectacular and the overhead kick really more than anything, and instead he got nothing of the ball and kicked Dumfries right in the forehead, and the referee putting him in the book for that overhead kick. And they are one of those types of plays that we'll see in football these days. If you pull it off, it is the spectacular. If you don't, well, you're likely to end up in the referee's book if you connect with the players. Sergio Roberto just having a few words with his manager on the near side. Says Fabregas is the Como captain. But Dumfries is back to his feet, and we continue in this game. 25 minutes gone, still 0-0. It's been a poor affair really from both sides. It's not been the most entertaining of games on this Sunday evening. Both sides know what they need to do. Neither side really gives too much away. It's the two best defences in Italian top flight football going against each other, and you can really tell coming into this one, Como also have the 3rd best attack as well, and they're on the ball with Nico Paz, tries to line up the strike and goes for goal, but it's high, it's wide, and it's not very handsome from Baturina in the end. Nico Paz picked up the ball, drove forward, fed it in, then late on in towards Baturina, just opening up onto his right, just drew out Ekanji. Got his feet all muddled up there with the Inter Milan centre half, but then the strike 5 yards outside the box wasn't going to test Sommer, but it's the first shot of the evening for either side that has got past the block from the edge of the area. As DiMarco just plays it off, Nico Paz on this near side and wins a throw in halfway inside his own half. 19 minutes to go then before half time. Nothing to separate these two sides at the moment. Inter Milan only drawn 3 games all season, lost 5. It's been the real difference between them and plenty of other sides during this campaign. They've won 3 more than anybody else. AC Milan, they've drawn too many, as have Juventus, who have lost the same amount of games as Inter Milan, as well as slightly one more for Juventus. Como have also lost the same amount in 5, but have drawn 10, 7 more than the away side this evening. But on the right-hand side with Roberto, tries to bring it back in towards Baturina. Just looks for a little bit of space, but the back line of Inter Milan is camped out on the edge of their own area, just inviting a little bit of pressure, but they're keeping their shape really well, and Como have to try and move the ball and work it back. Both move it towards the left-hand side with Diego Carlos finding it in towards Valle, who again will go all the way back towards his goalkeeper, and a sense of frustration from the Como fans. And they're in a good position. We've seen it from both sides really in this opening half an hour. They can get themselves into some good positions, but then the defences are doing their jobs and denying any ability to get the ball in towards the areas. It goes in towards the middle, and Como will win another free kick inside the Inter Milan half, as Duvakis is just taken out from behind by Acerbi, which surprisingly hasn't brought out a yellow card from the referee. It was a bit of a clumsy tackle, came in with the studs high down the back of the leg, and I don't think he intended to do that. It was a bit stronger than he may have intended, and Duvakis is back to his feet, and we're back underway with a poor ball going from right to left, and it will be an Inter Milan throw in which Akanji will leave for Dumfries so he can get himself back into position. A long throw looking towards Thuram down the right hand side, completely misses the Inter Milan striker, and it will go through into Kempf, who links up with Diego Carlos across towards Valle on the left hand side, comes back towards Butez, who again comes out of his area for a third time. This time does much better to send it long, but the first knockdown won by Inter Milan. The second ball then won back by Peroni on that left hand side. Been rather quiet in this game has Peroni, the 22-year-old Argentinian, one of South America's most coveted young midfielders when Man City signed him from Vélez Sarsfield, but he couldn't find himself into Pep Guardiola's side, and it is a rather difficult affair to get into a Pep Guardiola side who made themselves a comfortable win against Chelsea earlier on to get themselves 6 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand, and they still have to play the league leaders in what could be one of the biggest bottle jobs in English football. They don't play exciting attacking football. If you speak to any Englishman, even with Man City's dominance over the years, call it a Farmers League, whatever you like, everybody would like Man City to win the title over in England this season because of the way that Arsenal do play football. It's long hoof ball with set piece tactics. It's not great to watch on the eye. Attacking football is what fans want. And down the right hand side is Diao, just trying to attack himself and skips inside the middle, but there's Esposito just to get a foot in ahead of anybody else. It's played though in towards Nico Paz, who just tried to sort of flick it over the top of the head of the midfielder and just managed to work it down to Baturina. It was ever so well crowded out by three. Finds himself back on the ball again, just off the right-hand corner of the penalty area. He's got support in Diao, but decides to go against him as he brings it back in towards the middle, towards Baturina, who links in towards Diao again with an excellent cross. It's that corridor of uncertainty, comes back out in towards the middle to Valle, and what a decisive block that is over on the far side by Dumfries. The linesman's flag does go up on the near side. Acerbi was the man that came across. He got the initial block in. It was a wonderful tackle that came in from the right-hand side from Dumfries, who got across twice on his back line. What a ball from Diao into that corridor of uncertainty between the defence and the goalkeeper. Dumfries was there to get himself ahead of Duvakis, who got a strike onto it, but a good tackle, and he got himself back to his feet again as it came back out towards Valle, and he got another wonderful block over on the far side of the 6-yard box to deny Como an early lead. And just after that, the linesman's flag goes up anyway from the ball that came in from the right-hand side from Diao. And these two defences, which both have 15 clean sheets this season, showing why they are so sturdy at the back. And even if the linesman's flag did go up, Dumfries wasn't to know that, and he put in two fine tackles inside the penalty area there. 12.5 minutes to go then inside this first half. A long ball down the right-hand side. It's applauded over on the far side by Barella, but it goes out of play. And the Inter Milan captain Says it was the right idea, but it wasn't the right execution. Inter Milan getting themselves away from AC Milan, who were the biggest challengers, particularly after they beat them in the local derby. But since then, 3 defeats in 4 have taken them out of any question whatsoever. DiMarco gives the ball away on the edge of his own area with a poor first touch, straight in towards Peroni, sends it in towards Diao, back out towards Roberto. Diao can't quite get his cross, and as DiMarco does excellent to recover and force him out wide. A bit of support now comes in from Thuram as well, who just muscles him off the ball and feeds it back in towards DiMarco, who just gets the ball forward, only towards the halfway line, in towards Diego Costa. And after the game started rather slow and timid, not the best of affairs, Como are starting to get themselves on top with just over 10 minutes to go in this first half, as DiMarco will go down rather easily on the halfway line and wins a free kick for the away side. And for Chivu's men, who he played for Inter Milan between 2007 and 2012, returning to face a club from his playing days as well. Here's the Inter Milan manager. And the other scores around Europe, Bilbao and Villarreal also 0-0, as is Lyon, Lorraine. Mainz and Freiburg into the dying moments of that game, with Freiburg still leading by 1-0. Over in Brazil, Botafogo and Coritiba is 0-0 as well. In Serie B, we're into stoppage time at the end of that game, with Reggiana still leading by 2-0 against Carrarese. And in La Liga Ross, it's 1-0 to Almeria, just 21 minutes into that game. But with 10 minutes to go before half-time, still 0-0 between these two sides. We were expecting it to be a tough affair. It's been a defensive affair from both sides. You can see how solid these two sides are. At the back, they're calm, they're composed, they take the ball out of trouble, they play it simply out from the back. They don't cause too much danger themselves, but it's Como who are on the ball still. Back with Boutet. Played in towards the middle, towards Diego Carlos. Sends it forward down the right-hand side to Sergio Roberto. Fabregas just asking them to work it forward. Flicked in towards Nico Paz. Got a bit of space down the right-hand side. Dazzling onto his left-hand side. Keeper gets a good save first time, and it's tucked away, and it's Como who have the lead in the decisive game in Serie A football. And it was Nico Paz who found himself in a world of space. A wonderful opportunity opened up down the right-hand side. As cool as you like, he brought it back in onto his left. He just worked it towards the right-hand side. Jan Sommer, the big Swiss goalkeeper, got down brilliantly to get his strong hand onto it. But all he could do was push it into Valle, who had an opportunity moments ago, ruled out for a linesman's flag. And a superb challenge from Dumfries, but on this occasion he's onside and he tucks it into the corner, just slightly off the post, and Como have the lead here in Serie A, here on the lake. It's Como 1, Inter Milan 0, and that is a fine, fine finish. It was a wonderful angled run from the right-hand side, opened up the body from Nico Paz, looked for the far corner. Sommer met it well down low, but could only get it into the path of Alex Valle, the 21-year-old La Masia graduate. He joined Como to secure regular first-team football. He's shown impressive maturity since coming into the side. And, well, he's given the side an early lead, or a lead inside, inside this first half. And it is his first goal of the season in the league for the left-back, who's been excellent over on that far side in the opening 38 minutes of this game. And now it will ask questions of Inter Milan. How can they break down the best defence in the top 5 divisions of European football? But what a goal and what a run out of absolutely nowhere worked from the back really well. Started with the goalkeeper. A little flick from Diao just to open up the space for the home side. And with 7 minutes to go before half time, a perfect time to take the lead as a lovely ball goes towards the right hand side towards Dumfries. Takes an excellent first touch, tries to whip it in towards the box, takes a deflection. It's going to be the first corner of the evening, and it's Dumfries who did ever so well on that far side, just tried to get it into the area, but it's Valle, the man who scored at one end, doing the defensive work at the other, and the home side and the home fans waving the flags away to the left hand side. They're getting behind their side even more now, as DiMarco comes across to take the corner from the far side. Referee just having a couple of words with Van der Brempt and Dumfries on this near side of the penalty area, just having a little bit of handbags and pushing and shoving between them as they try and make their way into the penalty area. But DiMarco has got an excellent ball win, sends it in towards the far side, looking towards Dumfries, who gets the header down, and it just comes back off the goalkeeper's big strong right hand there. And from this angle, I thought for a moment he'd come back off the post, but the goalkeeper Boutez rather confidently just pulled it out. And now the counter-attack over on the other side with Diao, who goes for a strike from the edge of the box. Then it comes in towards Duvicas, who can't get his strike onto it, but it comes off an Inter Milan player, and from one end to another, it's now a corner kick for Como as well. It came off an elbow as well inside the box, to which Duvicas is asking more from the referee. But it was a wonderful ball in from DiMarco initially from the corner, in towards Dumfries, who knocked it down off the back of the head of Van der Brempt. And he did just come off the post and the goalkeeper's glove at the same time. And then he started the counter-attack quickly. The corner's taken short, set in towards the area, but can't quite be connected well enough on this near side by Kempf. And goes out for a goal kick to the away side, who can find themselves a little bit more open when they go to attack the home side. It's a beautiful venue here by the lake. You can't see too much of the lake, just the lights behind the stadium with the homes and the bars that do occupy the lake over on the left hand side as we sit. But in the summer, it is a wonderful place to be. It's one of the best places to enjoy football. It can get a little bit windy when it comes off the lake as well. There's a long ball from Sommer, is returned with force from Diego Carlos down the right-hand channel, and it's Nico Paz just trying to get himself between man and ball, but he's shoved off it by Bastoni. But a lovely battle on this near side between those two. There's Duvicas trying to get himself up, put a challenge and put a shot in, I should say, on Sommer. All five of his last league goals have come here at home as Baturina makes a run towards the edge of the area, and he's been taken out as well. And Como will have a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. It's been a good battle between Baturina and Kaganoglu, but it's Baturina who is coming off better. There's a lovely ball flicked in again from Diao, just driving down towards the edge of the box. And Kaganoglu just takes him out. And it is a brilliant opportunity here from a yard or so outside the penalty area. 5 yards or so off the right-hand side of the box for the home side to challenge Jan Sommer once again right at the end of this first half. We saw it earlier in the season when Como were pulling out surprises against the likes of Juventus on home soil. It's one of the games that saw the end of Igor Tudor, who's also had the end of his spell at Tottenham. Nico Paz stands over his free kick left footed. There's 3 inside the wall. Jan Sommer isn't still confident, still moving his wall, but the referee is happy to continue as Nico Paz goes for goal, and it's just over the top of the bar. It's not a bad effort, but I think it's just a little bit too close to the box for him there, just to get it over the wall and dip it in towards the top left hand corner of Jan Sommer's goal. The goalkeeper confident it was never going to dip, but it looked from here, it had the pace on it. And as you see it again from the replay inside the ground, just over the top of the bar. A good attempt from the young Argentinian, but it's Inter Milan again on the ball with 2 minutes to go in this first half. Can they find themselves a little bit of hope to get into the second half? There's plenty of running being done from the players on the pitch as well. Barella and Sergio Roberto showing why both of them two are the captains of their side, the two that have run the most on the pitch. Barella with 5 kilometres that he's just made, and Sergio Roberto just short of that as well. On the various telemetries that we do have that you can get through now these days, and back in the day he used to just be enjoying football with the eyes, and you'll find a few stats after as it's given away on the edge of the box towards Como, but it's a half attempt from Baturina and it's comfortable for Jan Sommer in the goal. He just got both hands to it, gathered it well right in front of himself. He's been a wall this season, but he's not able to keep another clean sheet for the away side. Trying to attack themselves down the right hand side, whipped in, and Boutez just plucks that from the sky beautifully and sends it quicker down the right hand side. Opportunity for Nico Paz. There's two getting forward as one. A crossover on the far side. Nico Paz drives into Hoyes, gets to his left, looks for goal, and it's 2-0 to the home side. Clinical once again from the Argentinian wonder. His 11th goal of the season, and it's a beautiful run, and it's a wonderful counter-attack. The assist goes to Boutez in the goal. He plucked out a wonderful ball out of the sky. He's being surrounded by the substitutes over on this near left-hand side. Nico Paz gets the plaudits of the players on the pitch, but those warming up and those on the bench went straight to their keeper. It was a wonderful ball, just played out of his hands into space, allowed Nico Paz to take it into his stride, and as he got it on to his left-hand side, as he did before, Sommer got down well to save it, but on this attempt, it just finds itself nestling into the far corner, comes off the inside of the post, and the young Argentinian, he fooled Acerbi with the eyes, and he's fooled Jan Sommer with the strike. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 0, and it's a clinical lead right before half-time, and it's Nico Paz who's causing a world of trouble in this game, who gets his second, or gets the second of the afternoon. And right on half-time, how crucial can that be as we go into time added on at the end of this first half, to which there might be just about 2 minutes or so. There wasn't too much happening before Como scored 2 goals as Inter Milan try and get themselves down the right hand side. Can they find a reply before the end of the half? It's whipped in towards Thuram, gets his foot on, and they have. There was 1 minute added on, and that's all it needed for Inter Milan to pull themselves back in before half time. Cancelled out immediately, and Boutez is furious with his defence. He just opened up on the right hand side for Inter Milan. It was a beautifully whipped ball from Dumfries, from Barella, put onto a plate for Thuram, who just sticks his right boot. He got himself ahead of Van der Brent and just poked it into the left hand corner of Boutez's goal, and this game had nothing inside the opening 35 minutes. Well, it's certainly livened up over the last 10 before half-time. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 1, and what a game we have on here as the half-time whistle goes as well. It didn't start very promising. 2 defences that showed why they were the best defences in this division, and Como then found themselves with the opportunity. Down the right-hand side, Nico Paz found himself in space after Yao flicked it through. He went for the strike again down to the bottom right-hand corner. Jan Sommer got a good strong right hand to it, but there was Valle to follow up and to play it in off the post to give Como a lead 10 minutes before half-time. On the stroke of half-time, we thought that was going to give Como a decisive 2-0 lead going into the break. It was a ball from the right-hand side from Inter Milan. Butez plucked it out of the sky. He sent it long, first time, straight into the path of Nico Paz, who had so much time and space to make his mind up. He drew it onto his left-hand side, and unlike before, unfortunately for Jan Sommer, he wasn't able to get a big, strong right hand to it. Better place this time from Paz, off the inside of the post to give Como a wonderful 2-0 lead. But then with the final attempt, just before the end of the half, Barella, the captain, showing why he is a key figure, or why he was a key figure in Italy's Euro 2020 triumph and the beating heart of this side, because he can put in wonderful balls from the right-hand side. The 27-year-old plucked out the Frenchman Marcus Thuram, the son of World Cup winner Lilian Thuram, and he stuck his foot out to give Inter Milan some hope to take them 2-1 in at half-time. His 9th goal of the season for Marcus Thuram. But what an end to the first half it was. It sets it up nicely for the second 45. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 1. Good evening all and welcome back to the second half here, as plenty of changes are being made at half time from both of these two sides. I'll run you through those in just a moment as Ramon makes his way on for Diego Carlos and Ducuna makes his way on for Sergi Roberto. For Como, we also saw a change earlier on of Augusto coming on, but I'll get confirmation about who he has come on for. Is he surprised me making his way out rather quickly onto the pitch, but we are back underway here on the Lake Como. Two sides battling it out with very, very different ambitions. Inter Milan wanting to win the Scudetto once again, Como wanting to get themselves into the Champions League for the first time in their history, and as it stands they are doing so. A game that livened up tremendously excuse me, at the end of that first half. And we have a second half with plenty of intrigue. It was Bastoni who made his way off, the 25-year-old Italian for Inter Milan. He makes his way off for Ramon, which does mean the home side line up with Boutez in goal, Van der Brempt, Ramon, Kempf and Valle at the back. It's Ducuna and Peroni sitting just in front, with Diao, Paz, Baturina and Duvicas up front of his own. For Inter Milan, one change for them at the half, with Sommer coming on, Akanji with Sommer in goal, Akanji and Serbi being joined by Carlos Augustus at the back, with Dumfries and DeMarco playing on those wide wing-back roles, with Barella, Kalinoglu, Zielinski in the middle, and Esposito and Thuram, who got his 9th goal of the season, to bring it back just on the stroke of half-time for the away side. The 11 for those in white and blue. Going from left to right in the second half are Inter Milan in that white shirt, blue shorts, white socks. Como right to left, blue shirt, white socks, white shorts, blue socks. The long ball goes towards Duvicas on the right-hand side. Just can't quite though squirm his way past the Kanji, who did ever so well over on that far side. Gets it back in towards Sommer, who will move the ball forward. As Villarreal take a 2-0 lead just on the stroke of half-time against Bilbao. That game had a little bit of a delay to the end of that first half there. It's on this near side though with Thuram. Tries to wriggle it free. Plenty of confidence in him now since getting himself on the score sheet just before half-time, but in doing so he was offside. As Como will have the free kick on the edge of their own half, and the players that then have come on, so Ramon, the 22-year-old Spaniard, he's technically gifted. Sevilla loanee, he's comfortable in tight spaces, capable of dictating from deep as well. Ducuna, the former Sporting Academy winger, he's quick, direct, and has a great eye as well for a final ball comes on. As Sergio Roberto, the experience, makes his way off, as does the experience of the Brazilian Diego Carlos. And for Inter Milan, they take off Bastoni, the centre half, and bring on the 26-year-old Brazilian left wing back from Atalanta. He's athletic, attack-minded. He's excellent cover as well when he normally replaces DeMarco, but on this occasion he'll sit a little bit further deeper in that back line as it's sent long down the right-hand side, and Boutez has come out of his goal and he's tucked away by Thuram. And he came out of his goal early in the first half. He didn't look confident, and on that occasion he's just been left stranded, and Marcus Thuram just lifts it over the top. It was Diao's mistake, played it back towards Boutez, and there was Thuram to get on the double. And Inter Milan, from 2-0 down in the space of 4 game minutes, are back level once again. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 2. And what a start to the second half for the away side. It was on this near side who just floated over the top. A poor first touch at the back. Boutez came out of his goal. He was already 5 or 6 yards out of his area. The touch on the near side from Kemp wasn't good enough. It left both him and Boutez stranded, and getting in between them was Thuram, who lifts it over the top, gets himself into double figures in the league this season, and gets Inter Milan back on level terms. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 2, 5 minutes inside this second half, and it's Thuram who just lifts it over the top of Boutez. And that wonderful defence from Como has been opened up from 2 balls, one over the top, one from the far side. And out of nowhere, Como's 2-0 lead has been wiped off in this game, and we are back on level terms. It's Como trying to make amends on this left-hand side with Kemp, striding forward in towards Baturina. Can't quite feed it in the middle towards Duvicas. Villarreal and Bilbao half-time, 2-0 to the away side. 5 minutes into the second half, Lyon beating Lorient by a goal to 0. And then La Liga, Dos Almeida, as a shot comes in from the edge of the area from Nico Paz, but this time it's quite comfortable down low from Sommer, who gets it out away to his right-hand side. Almeria, we're down to 10 men, have been pulled back, and some more by Racing Club, who lead by 2-1 on home soil. And Porto, their game started whilst we were at half-time, having a VAR check on their second goal against Estoril. As it stands, leading 2-0, but it might go back down 2-1. But on the right-hand side again, just floated in towards the box, this time from Dumfries, goes all the way back out, and then Alanoglu, who scored a wonderful goal against Roma last time out, can't quite get his foot through it on that occasion, as it goes over the top of the crossbar. But it's looking back, it's Kempf who made the decisive mistake at the back. He allowed Thuram in behind. If he had not got a touch onto it, it probably would have gone through towards Boutez. He needed to therefore get a better touch to commit to the ball. Maybe put off by his own keeper and by Thuram lurking just behind. But it's 2-2 here in this game, 7 minutes into the second half. It's over on the far side with Diao. Brings it back onto his left-hand side. Can't quite find the shot from the edge of the box, blocked by Kalanoglu, and then cleared towards DeMarco on the left-hand side. Gets his foot through it, but anywhere will do for him, just to allow the away side to reset themselves, as Porto goal, second goal, was ruled out, and they continue just to lead by a goal to 0. As a long ball again goes down the right-hand side, and it's going to be a free kick to Como. Zielinski goes into the referee's book, just comes in late. Does the 30-year-old Polish, plays nearly a decade at Napoli, including that 22-23 Scudetto season, before signing for Inter on a free transfer, but he just goes in hard from behind. Van der Bremt just trying to get down the right-hand side. As we look again at the finish from Thuram. He lifted it over with plenty of power, as well as it tucked itself into the bottom left-hand corner, says Fabregas, looking on in real frustration. It's not often that Como give away a 2-0 lead this season, but you can see it's 6 now to Inter across the league campaign, as a lovely ball comes in from the free kick, and it's knocked down straight at Jan Sommer. And for a moment, that really should have been a goal for the home side. And now Thuram trying to chase his hat-trick, getting away down the right-hand side, but just stumbles in front of the Inter Milan bench, asking for a free kick. But the referee and the linesman both in agreement that he just lost his footing and carried on going. It was a bit more comical than anything from Thuram, trying to keep his balance and stay on his feet. He almost just about did it for a moment or two, but then went to the ground, and I don't think there was a free kick there. I think the referee and the linesman have both made the correct decision from that one. But 10 minutes into this second half, 2-2 is the scoreline here. Nothing on offer inside the opening 35 minutes. Over the last 20 game minutes, it has been superb, and Inter Milan also looking to try and make a triple change, as well as they've got a few reinforcements warming up on this near side. They're throwing the kitchen sink, the basin and the boiler at this game now are the away side, as Diao just starts to stride down that far right hand side. Can't quite open up the space, he just tries to push it towards the byline, but in doing so gives the free kick away, and he's going to end up in the referee's book as well, as he's kicked the ball away in frustration. And the young Senegalese player, he's not got a lot of experience on his young shoulders. He's trying to protest, they're saying he kicked it against the hoardings and back, but it's the frustration and the kicking of the ball away. Doesn't matter where it goes. It is the difference between getting a yellow card and the referee giving you a little bit of leniency, but it is showing. And Inter Milan are starting to get into the heads of this Como side. They put a wonderful ball into the box moments before, but the triple changes are now being made by Inter Milan. Esposito has made his way off, as has Di Marco. He came off for Luis Enrique, and then on comes Sucic as well, the 22-year-old Croatian, and Zelensky, the final change, also on a yellow card, comes off for Sucic, and I'll just confirm. Di Marco, Zelensky and Esposito, the three players that have made their way off, and Boni was the other man to come on. The three that have made their way on: the Croatian midfielder from RB Salzburg, the 22-year-old, powerful engine, real technical quality, one of Croatia's brightest stars, makes his way on for the away side. The French striker from Parma as well, the 21-year-old Boni, comes on. He's powerful, mobile, and he's developing into a dangerous attacking option off the bench for the away side. And then Enrique, the Brazilian winger from Botafogo, capable of playing across the front line, also coming on as Inter Milan look to try and get those 3 points and get that 9-point gap between themselves and Napoli. And if they do that with 6 games to go, you would say the Scudetto is going to go the way of the blue side of Milan, as Nico Paz just gives away a free kick inside his own half, just 5 yards off the far touchline. And a great opportunity for Inter Milan to try and put the ball into the box and test Boutez once again. He's had moments and flashes in this game, Boutez. He's got the assist from the goal, but he's also looked a little bit unsure and a bit nervy at the back. So the free kick to come from the far side, just one in the wall right on the far left corner of the area, swung in towards the far side to Dumfries, and the turnaround complete for Inter Milan. And it's a wonderful free kick. It's on a button, and Denzel Dumfries just breaks off his man at the far post, and Inter Milan have turned this game on its head. From 2-0 down, they lead by 3-2. It was a wonderful ball from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, straight on to Dumfries. We saw it in the first half. He peeled off his man. He had a good attempt that went off the post inside the opening 45 minutes. He's done the same again. The far post, the box, no one's kept with him. He broke away from Van de Kemp, and this time he puts his header past a sprawling Boutez, and a wonderful ball met by a wonderful header inside the 6-yard box. And Inter Milan, they're chasing the Scudetto title, and it's Denzel Dumfries who could be giving them a 9-point advantage with just 6 games to go. And as Cesc Fabregas looks on with frustration, Christian Chivu looks on with delight. Inter Milan lead on the road with half an hour left. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 3. And after that second goal went in, you just knew which way this game was going to go. The reinforcements came on. They've added some life to their side. And when Como scored their second, you thought, oh, how are Inter Milan going to come back into this with the defence that Como have? But they've given them really easy opportunities. They were lazy at the end of the half as it comes out towards Baturina, goes for goal, but it's just wide of the left-hand post of Jan Sommer's goal. He would have had it covered. The big Swiss goalkeeper, as he just tried to open up his body, Baturina looking for the bottom right-hand corner. As Lyon have taken a 2-0 lead against Lorraine, and Porto have taken a 2-goal lead now against Estoril as well in that game. But Como have just given Inter Milan opportunities. They were lazy at the end of the first half after scoring that second goal. They only had 1 minute of injury time to see it out, and with the last kick of the first half, Thuram gave Inter Milan some hope. And since then, the game has only really looked one way, and lazy defending and goalkeeping at the back allowed Thuram in. And then on that occasion, from the set piece, nobody kept with him. There was a VAR check just for offside. It wasn't really needed. Kempf kept on Dumfries on the run. Nobody stayed with the big right wing back, who gets his head onto it to restore Inter Milan's dominant lead at the top of the Serie A table. And Como now move themselves down into 5th place behind Juventus, who will also be looking on with enjoyment after their period this season of going about 12 games without a win under Igor Tudor. To find themselves into the Champions League would be rather of an achievement. But here's Nico Paz in towards Baturina, getting himself in towards the area, tries to pull it back towards Nico Paz, but a wonderful tackle goes in by Acerbi at the back as well, just to intercept it and to clear the lines. Pulls it back into the middle towards the substitute Bonney. Space starts to open up into the middle as well with Akanji. Feeds it across towards the left-hand side. Inter Milan going to try and find a killer blow now on the right-hand side. Skips past one and takes deflection on the way through. And it comes off an Inter Milan player. 28 minutes to go then in this game. And it's Como who have to do the attacking. But it's Inter Milan looking to see this game out. And they're doing ever so well in the first half. Valle, who got his first ever professional goal, giving Como the lead before Nico Paz gave them that 2-goal cushion. But since then, Inter Milan have turned this game on its head. Back with Boutez away on the right-hand side. Playing between the centre halves of Kent and Ramon. And sent again towards the far right-hand side, looking for Van der Brent. Can't quite find his pass down the right-hand side, but it does come off an Inter Milan player, and the Como fans are just trying to buoy up their side just a little bit. They know that whatever happens this season, that they have had a wonderful season, Como. But they will be rather upset with how this game has played out. They've given 7 goals to Inter Milan this season in the 3 games that they have played. They finally scored against them in that first half. As they come forward again over on the far right-hand side. Brought into Baturina, 10 yards off the edge of the penalty area, right into the middle. Lays it in towards the left-hand side, towards Valle, who's passed, looking towards Nico Paz in the middle. Isn't a great one, and out comes the keeper. And Inter Milan has showed time and time again from set pieces. 17 goals they've got with a header this season. 6 more than anybody else. Como haven't got even 8 to their name, less than half of what Inter Milan have. And what a header it was, and what a set piece it was as well. It's over on this near left-hand side with Kemp. Fault for the second Inter Milan goal. 25 minutes to go in this game. Can they turn it around themselves? Como, we've seen them produce some excellent results this season. They're in their 119th year, are the home side, just the second consecutive season back in Serie A since they were backed by the Indonesian Hartono family. Bringing in Cesc Fabregas, the 38-year-old. His first senior managerial role. He's never beaten Inter as a manager in his 3 attempts so far. And at the minute, he's not going to do it in his 4th either, but Diao is on the right-hand side. Tries to wriggle free and send it in towards that corridor of uncertainty once again, but outstretching the leg is the substitute, Augustus, the Brazilian, who just gets there ahead of Duvicas. And there'll be a change being made as well. Reinforcements coming on as Como will blink once again in this second half. But 24 minutes to play. It looks like it's going to be Vojvoda that is coming on. Smolic, sorry, that is going to be coming on. But I will just confirm that in a moment. There's a little bit of indecisiveness just on the bench down in front of us. But it's with Como halfway inside the Inter Milan half. Just hugging this near touchline. Trying to feed it down the left-hand channel and just return the pass in towards Nico Paz, who's just bullied off the ball, and he'll get the free kick with the Kanji just leaving a lazy leg in on the Argentinian. And the protests are coming out now from the Inter Milan players. Kanji wasn't happy with that. D'Cunha, the makeshift captain for Como, who came off the bench for the captain, Sergio Roberto, goes off to just try and calm things down and listen in on the situation as well. But it was Nico Paz who has got a bit of a fortunate free kick on the replay from where we were. He didn't. It looked like a Kanji got a lazy leg in, but actually on the replay from a different angle, he's just stumbled, and you can see why the frustration is there from Inter Milan. And if D'Cunha can put a good ball in from this free kick, 5 yards off the left-hand corner of the penalty area, there's one in the wall. D'Cunha sends it in, the header goes in, but it's over the top of the bar, and Inter Milan will save face. It was Nico Paz again with the challenge, and it will be Smolcic who makes his way on for Van der Brent for the 3rd change of Como. The Belgian Club Brugge Academy product makes his way off, and the 24-year-old Croatian international from Rijeka, the composed left-footed defender, can play anywhere really across the back line, will make his way on, and will probably be a like-for-like change for Van der Brent as the back. He gets his first touch with a header, sending it into the Inter Milan half, and the Sommer goal kick. A little bit of tennis and ping-pong goes in the middle. Flicked over the top, looking for the run of Thuram down the right-hand side, but he looked quite offside, and linesman's flag does go up as soon as he gets hold of the ball. As a VAR check is taking place in the game between Lyon and Lorraine, potentially for a penalty to the away side. Lyon lead that game by 2-0. Villarreal and Bilbao, they're 5 minutes into the second half of the away side. Villarreal leading by 2-0. Porto, 5 minutes before half-time, leading by 2-0 as well in that game. And then over in Brazil, their season just kicking off a little bit later. Over in the Brasileiro Bertano, one of the local regional leagues, which does have plenty of good teams in it, but Tafago and Coritiba is 1-0 to Coritiba. It's interesting how the Brazilian leagues go, because it's such a vast country. They have the traditional 3 leagues of Serie A, Serie B, Serie C, but to get into Serie D, it's based on how you do in your regional leagues, but you can find sometimes that you're playing in the league with many, many, many quality sides who don't really give you too much of an inch and wiggle room as a tackle goes in late from Calhanoglu on his opposite number. They've been battling throughout this game of Baturina and Calhanoglu, but Calhanoglu just came in rather forceful from behind He was slow. He didn't get there first, and he goes into the referee's book. Does the 30-year-old Turkish player, and it's another good opportunity for the home side to try and get another ball into the penalty area and test this Inter Milan defence. There's two in the wall. Nico Paz is standing over it. He had a free kick just over the bar from about a yard outside the penalty area in the first half. But this one's a little bit further out. He's going to lay it off and go for strike, and it's pushed away by Sommer. Still inside the area, comes back across, and it's just gone wide. And how that's not gone in, I'll never know. Nico Paz, it was a wonderfully taken free kick. It was just laid off. The referee has got a decision to make here. The protest being made across the pitch from every which way. I think it's been given as a goal kick, but initially it was a wonderful strike from Nico Paz. He forced Sommer into the save. He just pushed it out towards the right-hand side, back into danger towards Ramon, who tried to get it back across the box. It initially looked it came off Acerbi, but it actually came off the substitute Smolcic last and out for a goal kick. But it looked for a moment like it may just have trickled into the back of the net, and hearts were in mouths, protest going towards the referee, but in the end he's made the right decision and given Inter Milan the goal kick with 20 minutes to go. And for a first half that took its time to get going, it's certainly motoring now between these two sides as Dumfries just came in a little bit behind his opposite number in Kempf as well, who threw himself to the ground, but the referee not biting onto the bait there. There's Como trying to get the ball from left to right, but they're doing it rather too rushed as it goes out for a goal kick. And when you look at the shots on target in this game, you can see why Inter Milan are top of the league. Como have had 8 and scored 2. Inter Milan, they've had 3 shots on target and have scored all 3. Jan Sommer pulling out some fine saves in this game. Kempf just gives the ball away and then gives away the free kick as well. It was a poor attempt, really, from the centre-half, who's not having the best of second halves in this game. He just kicks the foot of Barella. A complete midfielder in Serie A, a key figure you mentioned earlier in Italy's Euro win. But it's Inter Milan who have the free kick. Calhanoglu will just float it towards the far side, looking towards Akanji, knocks it back down in towards Dumfries, and it's 4-2! And it's the Inter Milan fans that have gone into delirium behind the goal, and they were looking to see this game out. They're looking to see the Scudetto return to the blue half of Milan once again, and they've given themselves an almighty opportunity with 17 minutes to go, and it's Dumfries at the double. He came in from the far right-hand side. It was Calhanoglu's free kick, given away foolishly by Kempf, who really isn't having a great second half. Floated towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Akanji with the knockdown right into the path of Dumfries, who just runs onto it and just puts his laces through it into the bottom right-hand corner of Butez's goal. And for the second time this season, Inter Milan have scored 4 past Como. And Inter Milan, with 18 minutes to go, are sitting 9 points clear at the top of Serie A. And it could be all over in the race for the Scudetto this season. Inter Milan lead once again. It's Como 2, Inter Milan 4, and it's Dumfries with 2 goals to his name in the second half. First one, he got onto a lovely ball from the set piece from Calhanoglu. This time Calhanoglu's free kick onto Akanji, who knocked it down into the path of Dumfries. Here come Como down the right-hand side, trying to find their way back into it, but they can't find any room, and out will come Inter Milan. 16 minutes to go in this game as it's flicked forward and safely into the hands of Jan Sommer. And if you're a betting man, you could have had your bet paid out twice in this game. You've had Como to win and Inter Milan to win if you do the 2 up. Como led by 2-0. Inter Milan now lead by 4-2. It's been a wonderful game that took 35 minutes to explode, but once it did, it set off like a nuke. And Inter Milan are not looking back. Baturina, though, trying to get himself forward down the left-hand side. It's a little bit slow as Valle just tries to get himself into position, but he works it instead towards the right-hand side to bring Smolic and Dacuna into play. Over with Diao. Looking to try and take on his man. Whipping it in towards the area, but there's Henry to stand him up and to clear the ball out to danger as well. Thuram also on a hat-trick. Boutez out of his box this time. Gets there ahead of Thuram and lifts it over the top of the French striker. And away to the right-hand side. 15 minutes to go in this game between two wonderful sides. Como, their defence undone. They had the best defence, the top 5 divisions of European football before tonight. They don't have that record anymore. As they go 2 behind Arsenal, who retain that current title of the season. But it's Como just trying to work it forward. Just flipped over the top, looking for the run down the left-hand side of the substitute Dacuna. But the former Sporting Academy winger just can't quite get hold of the ball and out for a goal kick. And Inter Milan in absolutely no rush now to take this goal kick. They're doing everything right. It took them time to get in. It took Como to take the lead for them to really wake up. As he looks forward towards Thuram, gets the flick on, but it's straight in towards a Como man, and it's just got a little bit tame from a Como perspective. They just can't quite find a way through. Inter Milan playing with plenty of confidence as Diao breaks in towards the middle, and we'll get a free kick, and the yellow card will also go the way of the substitute Sucic. The Croatian midfielder just taking out Diao, who still just wants to get hold of the ball and to run forward. He is an exciting player. Here's the young Senegalese. He's dazzling dribbling. He's fearless running. He's breaking in towards the middle, getting himself forward. Out came the challenge from Sucic, but it slows the game down and is into Inter Milan's favour. In doing so, they just have a little bit of a tussle, a little bit of a shove and a push with a few players just to delay the game a little bit more, and they'll delay it even more as another sub will be made for Inter Milan. In the final change, Nicolo Barella waves off the Como fans. Mkhitaryan back in the side, makes it his way on, the 36-year-old Armenian. Armenia's greatest footballer. A glittering career spanning Dortmund, Man United, Arsenal, Roma and Inter Milan. Makes his way on as they run out of players to bring on Inter Milan, but they're trying to feed it down the left-hand side. The run not quite read on that occasion by Sucic, who thought it was going to go towards the right-hand side, instead played away towards the left. In the other games going on around Europe, it's still 2-0 to Villarreal with half an hour to go in that game. We're skipping on the edge of the area, flicks around the corner towards Thuram, links up back well, but it's straight at Boutez to deny. Inter Milan a 5th for the second game in a row. It was Henrique who latched on to the end ball but couldn't get the end product right at the decisive moment. Lyon leading by 2-0 against Lorient in that game. There was a VAR check for Lorient, but it was ruled out as a Sebi just comes in on Baturina, just pulls his shirt and gives a free kick, and he gets the yellow card as well. The 36-year-old Italian, who himself has overcome plenty testicular cancer in his mid-20s to become a cornerstone in the likes of Lazio, Inter and the Azzurri. Como, they'll make their final 2 changes as well, bringing on Morata on the side, but he's just being delayed by a little bit as well. As coming off the pitch is Asane Diao, who has been good in this game. He's looked lively and he's looking tired now. Morata, who's played across Europe, makes his way on. Spain's World Cup winning captain, the veteran of Juventus, Chelsea, Atleti and Milan, with 30 international goals. Moreno, the former Liverpool man, Champions League winner with the Reds back in 2019. He's also got plenty of experience as well with left back cover. Coming on for Como as he makes his way on for Valles. It comes from the left hand side in towards the area for Como, but it's headed back out and away to danger. Valle, who got his first ever goal, the La Masia graduate, first ever professional goal in that first half, makes his way off for Alberto Moreno as Como try and find something with 10 minutes to play in this game. 2 goals from Dumfries and 2 from Turan is what's turned this game on its head. The header from Dumfries and then the knockdown from Akanji into the big man. It's on the right hand side again for Como. They're trying to just put everything, all hands on deck really for them, and all hands to the pump for Inter Milan as well, as a cross blocked on the near side and clear back out towards the left hand side. Inter Milan playing it though into danger right on the edge of their own penalty area. It's picked up by Morata, moves it forward but cleared back out really easily again by Inter Milan. Sent though towards the left hand side as there's no one forward for Inter Milan at this stage. Moreno, the highest spot up the pitch though for Como on the left hand side, receives the ball back, just hugging the near touchline on the level with the edge of the penalty area, brings it back in towards fellow substitute Dacuna, in towards Baturina, strides in towards the middle, loses his man Kalanoglu for a moment, just manages to get back with him, but switched it towards the right hand side. Cross then comes in, Dumfries with a wonderful header back out towards the edge of the area and clears it away from danger, and then the foul goes in on the Inter Milan man Turan by Kempf, and the free kick goes the way of Inter Milan, and the game will be slowed down once again in the favour of Inter Milan. Half-time over in Portugal. Porto lead against Estoril by 2-0. Botafogo pulled it back against Coritiba. It's 1-1 over in the Brasileiro Bertano. In La Liga 2, with 27 minutes to go, Racing Club still lead against 10-man Almeria. And we saw the red cards going in the Genoa game against Sassuolo today. Both Elliotson and Berardi being sent off for a coming together right on the stroke of half-time. Sent off for violent conduct at the exact same time by the referee. And it was the home side that came away with the winners. The referee pulls out another yellow card to an Inter Milan player as Peroni just taken out. So Duvakis is just taken out in the middle of the park. This time it was by the other substitute, Augusto, right on the edge of the centre circle. Inter Milan doing everything that they can just to stop Como from getting themselves forward. 7 minutes to play in this game. Como still trying to come forward. They've got a great effort into this match, no matter what, as it looks towards Moreno, but it's just over the top and out for a goal kick, and there's nothing more that either of these sides can really do, or either managers, I say, can really do in this game. They've both made all their substitutes. It's now up to the players that remain on the pitch. Como, who've just lost one of their last 10 games, winning 6, drawing 3. And their fans are still flying the flags. They're still making plenty of noise for Cesc Fabregas' side, as Sommer sent it out for a throw on the halfway line. Fabregas quick to get the ball back into play for his side. He knows that his side can still pull out a surprise. He scored 2 late goals in the first half to give them that 2-0 lead before it all went downhill from there. It's over on the far side with Moreno. Pulls it back in towards the middle on the halfway line towards Ramon. Flicks around the corner with a dancing little run in towards the middle, but then the strike from Nico Paz well over the top of the bar, and it just not been his afternoon, his evening in the second half tonight. His first half, his two dazzling runs from the right-hand side, one forced a save which led to a goal for Valle, the other he tucked in to give the home side the 2-0 advantage in what looked like it was going to be a 2-0 advantage at half-time. But the home fans, they're still celebrating the season that they have had so far. Because it has been an exceptional campaign for Como. If they get to just European football, it will be a wonderful achievement. Champions League would be extraordinary for Cesc Fabregas and his players. There's another free kick, this time goes the way of Como just inside their own half. Morata just dragged down by Dumfries on this near side. Played quickly in towards the centre circle, looking for Peroni. Sends it in towards the left-hand side again, towards the substitute Dacuna, who whips it all the way across in towards that corridor again, right between the defence and the goalkeeper. There's no one, though, to get on the end of it. It was a wonderful flash cross in from the left-hand side. Keeper left stranded on his goal line. And it was a wonderful tackle, really, and then to stop Morata from getting there first. He appealed initially for a foul from Augusto coming across him, but neither of them really got anywhere near the ball. But it was a wonderful ball from that left-hand side. In the end, it looked like it came from Moreno more than anything. Inter Milan just give the ball away. They're just defending valiantly right at the end of this game. They've got 4 minutes plus any added time to see out this 2-goal lead and to give themselves that 9-point advantage at the top of the table. The long throw comes in, flicked on towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but clear back out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, and then forward through on the second attempt, back out once more towards Dacuna. Lines it up on the edge of the area, back out towards Nico Paz. Look to potentially shoot, decides to go towards Moreno, who pulls it back out again towards Paz, who goes for the strike. And he's gone down inside the penalty area, and the referee has given a yellow card. And I think he's given the free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. It will certainly be checked to see where that tackle was made on Nico Paz. The Como players are adamant it was inside the box, but Boni was the man who came in on Nico Paz, who took the strike. The challenge then came in after. It did look like he was outside the box on the initial glance, but that is close on second viewing. Boni's inside the box. Nico Paz is outside the area. His standing right foot is outside the box, which may be where the referee makes the decision from. But that left boot on the challenge is inside the area, and that is going to be checked by VAR. And Chivo protesting on the near side. It's certainly a foul, but now it's a question of whether it's inside the box or outside the area. The standing right leg of Nico Paz was outside the box. The left leg of where the connection was made was inside the area, and it is going to be a penalty to Como. 2.5 minutes to play. Can they provide the ultimate ending to this game? Can they come back after having a 2-goal lead? Boni came across. It was a late, lazy challenge. Right on Nico Paz. And it's going to be Dacuna, the man who will try and step up to bring the home side back in. No messing around from the home side here. The captain, made captain after Sergio Roberto came off. Up against Sommer, gets the right way, but it's in the net. And Como are back in it with 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's Como 3, Inter Milan 4. And what a night of football we've had here. Jan Sommer guessed the right way, but he couldn't get a hand to it. And Como who throughout this season have missed 3 out of their 6 penalties, made no mistake there. Inter Milan, they tend to hold out those situations as well. And from a defensive point of view, they've not saved the penalty this season either. 3 taken, 3 conceded, but when they needed it most, in a season where penalties have been a real downfall of Como's game, they've given themselves life at the end of this. We're getting into the 90th minute of this contest. It's Inter Milan winning here by 4-3. The entirety of Serie A is looking on. The first 35 minutes was all about the 2 best defences in Italian football, in the top flight of Italian football. The second half has been, or since the 35th minute, it's been all about the best 2 attacked in Italian football. It's been a real masterclass of defence and attacking prowess and vulnerability at times as well. It's been end-to-end and a real contest. Whipped in from Moreno in towards the area, dealt with on the first opportunity, sent towards the right-hand side, played back in towards the area, and it was Moreno who got there slightly unchallenged in this edge of the 6-yard box, but he was just facing the wrong way. It was Nico Paz who put the ball in towards the box, and it's just come off his left shoulder as Moreno, and over the top of the bar. And these fans here would have gone into absolute delirium if they found themselves. Cesc Fabregas trying to get the fans up for this one behind the dugout. 5 minutes will be added on. We've played 30 seconds of it already. Sommer kicks the ball straight out from the goal kick. Fabregas gives the ball back into play towards Morata, sends it forward towards Duvicas, who's taken out, and it's going to be a free kick halfway inside the Inter Milan half, but Inter Milan with Akanji going to try and slow it down. Como don't want to get involved in any sort of fisticuffs. The referee just gives yellow cards to both Ramon and Akanji. They had a slight coming together. Ramon pushed away from it by his teammates, who know that time is running out in this contest. They've got just less than 4 minutes to go in this game. Inter Milan defending now as deeply as they can. It's the Kuna who will stand over it, the man that's brought them back into this game from the penalty spot. Sends it in towards the area, headed back out though towards the far right hand side, only as far as Nico Paz, flows it towards the far side, comes off Morata, down towards Moreno, goes for goal, and oh, it's come off the top of the bar and out. And that was the moment for Jacobo Ramon inside the box. It was a brilliant ball in from Nico Paz, just stabbed it towards the far side. Morata knocked it down in towards Moreno, who just sent a thunderous ball in towards the area. It may have been ruled out anyway, as I think Morata was offside from the initial cross, but it was whipped back in. Ramon got his foot onto it 5 yards outside, right in the middle of the goal, and he put it on to the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. And that could well be the final opportunity in stoppage time. And the free kick goes into Milan's way as well inside the Como half. Thuram goes down and he's in no rush to get back to his feet. Moreno trying to help him up, but with 2.5 minutes of time added on, it looks like that opportunity from Ramon will be potentially the last one that they will have. We saw 2 goals inside 2 minutes in the first half, and that's what Como will have. 2 minutes to play to try and find an equaliser in this game, to throw Italian football into a little bit more of a spin this evening. But it's been a wonderful contest and a wonderful showing of Serie A football after that first half an hour, which didn't do anybody any favours whatsoever. Morata has the free kick. Akanji handballed it right in front of him. He's already been booked, but the referee not giving him a second yellow card. He just wants the free kick taken, and the protest coming from the Como bench. The Inter Milan bench were up in arms thinking they should have had a free kick, because Morata handled the ball, but it's sent long, flicked on with the header, and it's into the safe hands as Jan Sommer, who cradles the ball like a mother cradles a newborn baby, and he's not going to want to let it go anytime soon. 60 seconds to go. It was a good ball going long. It's all Como could really do. Sommer sends it forward, straight into his opposite number of Jean Boutez. The Belgian just sends it immediately back long, looking for Moreno. Not really jumping towards the ball, but it's knocked down by Dumfries, and then just hack clear. Anywhere will do for Inter Milan, and it's back with Boutez. Good first touch from him right on the edge of his own area, and he's just been asked to come forward with the ball. Thuram's being asked to go at him. Steps forward once. Boutez sends it long. Flicked on by Morata. Looking in the Kanji. Knocks it down. Back in towards Baturina on the edge of the area. He's got Moreno for support on the left. Tries to get a cross in towards the box. Floats one in. The challenge goes in. And there's Sommer again, who gets the ball down to the ground. And that will likely be that here in Serie A. What a contest we have witnessed. Como continue to come at it, and that is the full-time whistle in Serie A. It's finished Como 3, Inter Milan 4, and Inter Milan go 9 points clear at the top of Serie A. They knew that they had to get an advantage after Napoli slipped up in the game before drawing at Parma, and they've taken full advantage. 9 points the gap, and they certainly didn't have it easy or their own way. A defensive opening 35 minutes was unlocked when Diao sent Paz into space. He looked for the bottom corner, which was matched well by Sommer, who could only palm it into the path of the grateful Valley to score his first professional goal. It then looked like Paz was going to give them a 2-0 lead going into half-time. Boutez sent it long down the right-hand side after looking for the counter-attack, straight into the path of Nico Paz, and the young Argentinian made no mistake, diving into his left-hand side and then just placing it down into the bottom right-hand corner of Sommer's goal for 2-0. But in the last kick of the first half, Thuram brought Inter Milan some hope, latching on to a pinpoint Barella cross to give the away side some hope, and that was taken 5 minutes inside the second half, where Thuram got there ahead of Kempf, whose first touch was a poor one. Boutez was then left stranded, and Thuram, the Frenchman, lifted it over the top of the keeper for 2-2. Dumfries then got the full turnaround for Inter Milan, giving them a 3-2 lead as he got on the end of a beautiful set piece from Calhanoglu. Calhanoglu turned almost provider once again, whipped in from a free kick from the far side. Akanji, though, with a knockdown straight into the path of Dumfries, who got his brace, his second and the brace for him this evening as well, to make it 4-2. Then it came for Como, the final 10-15 minutes. They just came and came and came, wave after wave at Inter Milan. It seemed like they were going to get away with it until Boni put a lazy challenge in on Nico Paz before up stepped Acuna to put it into the bottom right-hand corner of Jan Sommer, who guessed the right way, got fingertips to it, but couldn't keep it out. And then in the dying moments of stoppage time, a beautiful ball in from Nico Paz, knocked down by Morata into Moreno, who whipped it back across the 6-yard box into Ramon, who stuck his leg out from 5 yards central of the goal and hit the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick to deny what would have been one of the best Serie A games, certainly this season. It's been a wonderful night of football here on the Lake Como. It's Como who are going to have to continue to try and fight for those Champions League places. They stay in 5th, 2 points behind Juve. But Inter Milan, the Scudetto is in sight. 9 points clear with 6 games to go. It's all looking blue. Good night.